Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is the time I got the worst haircut of my life. And I know it's not something that's out of the usual, right? Everybody gets shit haircuts. In fact, 90% of the barbers out there should probably get their jobs taken away because they can't listen for shit. Okay, they can't listen for shit. And around this time period that I got my worst haircut, I actually had a solid barber. It was my ex at the time. She was my girlfriend at the time, but now she's currently my ex. She was amazing. You know, I always slept on girl barbers, but I think girl barbers are the move. I've yet to go to another girl barber since. Going to her was always the move, honestly. She would lather my hair up in shampoo and massage it. It would feel really, really good. And then she'd bring me back over to her table and then give me a nice little trim, you know, just what I wanted. And then she would even vacuum my hair off so like I wouldn't have to take a shower afterwards. But I plan to go back. I don't know why. I've been testing out with other dudes. That sounds really sus, but I've been still testing out other barbershops, and they're all still pretty shit. I get one haircut probably every 3 to 4 months because I have just terrible trust issues, and I like my hair long. But most barbers suck, let's just say that. Okay, my hair is curly, like it coils up real deep, like real deep curls. And you know barbers, they weight your hair down, and then by the time it dries up, it curls back up. You know, if you have curly hair, you get it. You get the struggle. So this was the time I spent easily over $140 in one day just to get my hair absolutely demolished. Absolutely demolished. So let's take this back to about a year ago, okay? I was still working at my one sales job. It was a 12-hour shift a day type of job. I would work there Monday through Saturday. Luckily, Saturdays, it was only like a 3-hour shift. Just get in there, call some people and shit, and then leave. But on Monday through Friday, it was long hours, so I'd be able to go in and out of the building multiple times a day. For lunch, you know, to take a breather, whatever. And on this particular day, my girlfriend was out of town, and the reason I say that is because, like I said, she was my barber at the time. And on this day, I was having one of those super, super bad hair days where, you know, you just keep on like playing with it. You keep going to the bathroom, you try to wet it down and see if it just works a little bit. And I'm like, bro, this isn't gonna work. Like, in order for my hair to look better, I straight up need a haircut right now. Like, I'm fucking done with it. And you know, I got like 3 clients ahead of me that are gonna come in and I gotta talk to them and shit. And I'm just ugly as fuck right now. And it would be a disservice for me to present myself in front of these people that paid good money for my service and for me to look like an ugly little bitch. So, one of my clients he was actually one of my ex-clients at the moment. You know, in fact, I never even sold this fucking guy. You know, now that I think about it, which pisses me off even more. He was one of the leads that came in, and yeah, he was a prospect. He was somebody I tried to sell but epically failed on. He was one of those Afghanian guys or whatever, some Arabic motherfucker that had those really nice beard lineups and eyebrows well kept, but he was kind of intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. He looked like he could probably kick my ass. He was really jacked, deep voice. By the looks of him, he was either one of 3 things. He either worked at a gas station, a vape shop, or he was a barber, or a terrorist. But this guy, of course, was a barber. He told me he was a barber when he walked in. He was talking about how he has a barber shop around the corner and that I should pull up sometime. I'm like, bro, this guy's got a nice ass lineup. This guy looks dope. This guy is definitely gonna hook a brother up. He has curly hair too, and he could definitely hook a brother up sometime in the future. So fast forward back to this time period that I got the worst haircut of my life. Of course, this wasn't the day I met him, but this was months in the future, months after. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna support this fucking guy. And I'm gonna go out to work, and on my break, I'm gonna get a quick little shape up, per se. I'm gonna get a quick trim. So I leave the building, head over around the corner to this dude's barber shop. And this guy, so I go into his shop and I'm like, hey man, you remember me? I'm Chris. I worked over at that one place, yada, yada, yada. And he has this just very blank appearance on his face. He's like, oh yeah, what's up, man? What's up? I'm like, you don't remember me, do you? He's like, you came in here before? I'd be lying if I said this guy's face wasn't slightly pissing me off too, because he had that slight look on his face, slightly smirky. He's like, yeah, I'm better than everybody type of look. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, dude, you were actually a client of mine, or you weren't a client of mine, but you know, you came in and tried out my service. Oh yeah, dude, I remember you. He's like, oh yeah, bro. And keep in mind, about 15 minutes before I even showed up, I called and he said, You know, come in whenever, brother. Come in. We're free. We're free. Yep, just come on in. So I'm like, bet. So yeah, I pull up and yeah, it turns out he is not free. He's got somebody coming in literally 10 minutes and that his haircuts take about, 30 minutes to 40 minutes. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'll actually just go to the other place around the corner. And he's like, you know what? I got you, bro. I got you real quick. Let's get it. So real urgently, this guy is like snappy with it. He sits me down in the nearest chair possible, pulls out his clippers right a fucking way. Like right a fucking way. He starts wetting my hair. He's like, all right, man, what do you want? And I'm like, just short on the sides. Nothing too crazy, like a 3 or a 4 on the sides. And then just kind of trim the top, you know what I mean? Just something light. My hair's curly, as you probably know. Curls start to, coil up and get a lot shorter after they dry. So just work around that. Appreciate you, man. Just do what you do, And so he starts going the fuck at it with the clippers, right? He starts going at it with the clippers. I don't even think he said a single word to me the entire haircut. And honestly, I wasn't really talking myself, but it just felt like there was some beef between us two for some reason. So he's giving me this haircut, and for some fucking reason, he decides to bald fade I don't even know if you want to call it a bald fade, because it wasn't a fade. Dude just straight up balds my sideburns, leaving me with this horrendous looking Edgar cut. Like I look like one of those fucking high school broccoli head Edgars, like the worst version. And he shows me the mirror. He's like, what do you think, man? I'm like, oh, it looks good, bro. Looks good. He's like, yep, that'll be $50. I'm like, Jesus, bro. I'm thinking, Jesus fucking Christ. But of course I just go, all right, man, sweet. Thank you, appreciate you. Looks fire. I leave out the door. And I have to take a double take in my car mirror. You know that when you go back to the car and you're like, okay, hopefully my eyes were just deceiving me. Hopefully I could, make this look good. But no, it looked like dog shit. It actually looked like absolute dog shit. I lost $50, plus I tipped him 10. So I'm like, all right, well, he's obviously not going to be free for another hour. I got to go back to work soon, but I ain't going back to work looking like this. So I'm researching now the nearest barber shop that could potentially fix this. Like, I'm thinking straight up now, I have to get a fade. I'm going to have to get a fade that just turns this into something smoother, perhaps. Maybe not an Edgar cut. So I go look up this place that's right around the corner. It's called Keep It Faded, and they prioritize fades. I'm like, bet. You know what? I've heard good things about this place, actually. This place has 5 stars, amazing reviews, and they have a selection of a bunch of cool fades that you could get. And the fade that I chose was actually of this picture of this little boy, as you can see on the thumbnail. It's on the left side. And if you couldn't already tell, the guy on the right, that's fucking me. So before I hit up Keep It Faded, I give them a call, make sure that they're available, of course. Got to make sure they're not busy, because it is about 3 p.m. and I'm thinking it's peak time now. And they say, yeah, dude, you're good to go. You're good to come in anytime. So I go to the barbershop. It's about 2 minutes away. And they're fucking full. I don't know why barbershops do this, but they're fucking full as all shit, all right? And yeah, they're like, yeah, it's probably gonna be another 20-minute wait. And then they're like, wait, we got Darnell in the back. And then Darnell pops out. He's this fucking black dude. He's like, yo, I got you, bro, back here. I'm like, oh, Jesus, this guy is definitely the intern who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, but he seems chill. He's black dudes. I have high hopes for black dudes. They're brothers, you know what I mean? So I go back to him, and this guy, he's a chill guy, way chiller than fucking Mickey. And he talks to me almost too much during the entire haircut. I tell him what I want. I told him how I kind of got fucked over and that I want this picture of this little boy. I feel like it really could blend in this Edgar cut and make it not look as bad. He's like, oh, I got you, bro. I got you. Easy, light work. And he's one of those guys that almost look like they don't want to talk to you until they open their mouth and they almost start talking too much. And this guy just talks about Mortal Kombat for the next 40 minutes. And while he's doing so, I can't really say much because he's just talking. He's yapping like a motherfucker. And I feel like I'm just in one of those not too talkative moods to where I don't even want to interlap my conversation over his. I don't want to put any input because I'm just low energy right now. My spirits are down after that last haircut. And while he's talking, I actually feel the clippers getting real fucking high on the side of my head. But I'm just thinking, like, I'm unfamiliar with the feeling of fades because typically I don't get fades. But what I do notice is that it's getting pretty high. Like, it feels like it's starting to touch the fucking side of the top of my head. And I'm just trusting the process. And then he goes, "How's it look?" And reveals the ugliest fucking haircut I've ever seen in my life. I've yet to see somebody with an uglier haircut. And it happens to be on my head. And bro, I should be a Hollywood actor after the performance I put on. Right then and there. I should be a Hollywood actor because I told him how fire it was. I was too afraid to crush his little black soul and say how dog shit of a fucking fade that was. It wasn't even a fade. Matter of fact, the motherfucker even fucked up the side of my head. If you zoom into the thumbnail, if it isn't super pixely, you can see how he fucking cut my head twice with the blade. Jesus fucking Christ. So, yeah, you know, I pay up. This place is expensive. It's like fucking $50 too. Tip him. So, hey, boom, another $60 there. Like 60, 65. So I'm down 120, right? I leave, I look at my car, I take the photo that's in the thumbnail, send it to my boys. I'm like, bro, I just got the worst haircut of my life. I have to go back to work right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I wanna end my life. I want to end my fucking life right now. This is fucking bullshit. I might just say I died in a car crash or something. But I'm heated. I'm heated right now. What I end up doing is I go to the mall, go to Lids, buy myself a fucking hat. Dropped another $45. I dropped $150 on the worst haircut of my life. I would have paid $300 not to have that haircut. Dead ass. Dead ass. I would have paid $300 to just reverse the haircut overall, but I dropped $150 for the shittiest haircut of my life. So, yeah, so I get my hat and I'm pissed. Like, I'm not over this. I am not over this because this was just straight disrespect in my opinion. I thought I had been done so wrong. So what I ended up doing was try to potentially sprinkle in the idea that I want a fucking refund for that shit. But I didn't say I wanted a refund because I'm not full-blown Karen. But what I did was I called them and said, hey man, so I actually went in to get a fade and this is what my hair started with. This is the haircut that I wanted, that I saw on your website, and then this is what I got. I want to see if like there's any way like we could do something about this, maybe fix it somehow, or like I don't know what you guys want to do about that, but it's like just like not the haircut that I asked for. He's like, all right, bro, come in, we'll hook you up. So I go back in and I'm super nervous. I go back in and it's even more packed, and I'm just more embarrassed that I have this fucking shit thing on my head. And they see that I have a hat too, a hat that I didn't originally come in with. And then the manager sits down next to me. He's like, all right, man, what's the issue, bro? And I take off my hat and I'm like, yeah, this was the haircut I asked for. And as you can see, this is like just not the same haircut. He's like, oh yeah, I see what he did. So yeah, he just went a little bit high with that. You know, the way your hair is, yada, yada, yada. He tries straight up gaslighting me into thinking that like I'm the problem or something. And I'm just thinking, absolutely not, bro. All right. But he's like, all right, bro. Well, we'll hook you up. We'll get you straight. And then what he says is, all right, bro. Well, Darnell is actually in the middle of a haircut right now, but in about 10 minutes, he'll be done. So he'll fix you back up once he's done with his haircut. And I'm thinking, brother, Darnell's the one that fucked me up. I don't want Darnell anymore. I want somebody else. I didn't say that because, bro, something about me, man. That day, you know those days where you're just super anxious? And to make matters worse, my anxiety was at an all-time high because I was just looking super unfuckable and my self-esteem was just very low. So Darnell is like, he's staring me down while he's doing this haircut. I feel like he's giving me like this disappointed look in the fact that he has failed me. kind of like a sad puppy. So I'm feeling really bad. So the manager leaves, and now I'm just in the front of the barbershop, this super packed barbershop, and Darnell is across the room just kind of like looking at me every couple of moments, knowing the fact that he probably failed me and that I came back for revenge or something. And I'm just like, my heart is beating, bro. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I genuinely gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm not letting this motherfucker touch my hair again. So Darnell gets to the point to where he's, you know, like brushing this guy's hair off. He's doing the thing with the back of the client's head where he's like touching up the last couple of hairs before he's gonna send him home. And I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck do? Do I just leave? And so I fake a phone call.
Hello? Yeah.
While I'm faking the phone call, I'm like looking at all the business cards, acting like I'm like checking out all the other businesses, because of course the business cards are right by the door. And so while I'm faking a phone call and checking out these business cards, I dip. I just leave out the door, and I go to my car, and right as I open my car, the manager opens the door. He's like, "Hey, where are you going?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, I'm good. Thank you." Close the door. And then I take off, and I write them a bad review with my old hair, with the hair that I wanted, and the hair that I got. 3 pictures. And I told the whole story, and I wasn't being a Karen about it. Like, I was being a nice Karen. Let's just say that I wrote a bad review, but for a good reason. You know what I mean? I went over the fact that I wanted this haircut. I didn't get the haircut. And they wanted me to go back to the same guy that fucked my hair up. And then what they ended up saying was they said some bullshit where, like, it was my fault somehow, and that if I would have just told him exactly what I wanted, I would have gotten it, or whatever. And then literally like 10 minutes later, you couldn't even see my review because there were like 30 other reviews within that same like 6-hour window. So like my review was just drowned out by probably what I would assume are 30 other fake reviews, just gassing them up, all 5 stars. I'm like, yo, what is this shit? There's no way that they just got hella reviews right after I just put in my shitty review. So I make another review and I shit on them again. And then same shit happens, and I'm just like, I just accepted the L. I'm like, fuck this. Fuck everybody. I'm just gonna start wearing hats now. Yeah, that was the biggest L I ever taken.